If you cannot become the best version of yourself, how are you going to become the best dad that you could be, the best mom, the best husband, the best wife?
When we're looking for a solution, sometimes we make it way more complicated than it needs to be. Sometimes the solution is so obvious right in front of us.
You are waiting, you are thinking, oh, you know, what is my gift? It's not about finding your gifts. It's about developing your gifts.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to apply the straight line theory, find your drive, and develop your gifts with Dan Lok and my take on his top 10 rules of success to give you the confidence, motivation, and belief that you need. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Manage yourself first.
Manage yourself. What does it mean? What the heck does it mean to manage yourself? It means manage your emotions, manage your state, manage your skills, become the best version of yourself that you could be. You can't even do that. How are you going to manage your family? If you cannot become the best version of yourself, how are you going to become the best dad that you could be, the best mom, the best husband, the best wife? You can't. You have to learn to manage yourself first. Problem is, you've never been taught on how to do that. Because your whole life, listen to me, your whole life, most people have such low expectations for you. They don't expect much out of you. So then guess what? You don't have much expectations for yourself. Most people grew up with low self-esteem because your parents never gave you self-esteem. I don't mean that, oh yeah, you do a good job, yeah. You know, it's okay you're not first. It's okay to be the 9th place, you try your best. I don't mean that bullshit. I mean, they don't have very high standards for you. They are setting you up for failure. They're teaching you how to settle to be average, how to settle for less. It's okay. Don't stand out. Don't make noise. Just get a safe, secure job. Be content. Why are you so ambitious? Why can't you be your sister? Why can't you be like your cousin? All this bullshit. Manage yourself. Then you can manage your family. Then you can build an empire. Now you're leading a lot of people. Only when you can do that, then you can conquer the world.
Rule number 2, apply the straight line theory.
Now in Wing Chun, the first thing I want to share with you is, in Wing Chun we talk about the strict line theory, right? And that's why our go-to punch in Wing Chun is the strict blast. And what it means is, when you're facing an opponent, and the opponent doesn't have to be a person, it could be a scenario, an obstacle in life, right? Instead of going a curve like a hook punch or like a big round punch, right? We want to see what is the closest distance from A to B, right? What is the most efficient to get something done? So in Wing Chun, we don't punch this way, we don't punch this way, we don't punch this way, it's straight line, right? And the second punch, that when we punch, we don't pull back and say like a karate punch, right? You hit and you come back, right? Wing Chun is much more like a machine gun, right? Just like a machine. If we do this, right, punch, right, it's much more like this, right? When we practice, we're doing a drill of some sort, right? So it's a strict line. So it's a strict line. You can see that. So the strict line theory in business, I believe, is the same thing. When we're looking for a solution, sometimes we make it way more complicated than it needs to be. Sometimes the solution is so obvious right in front of us, and hey, just go from this to this. Oh, but what about this? What about it doesn't work? What about it works too well? And what if we fail? And what if, no, just boom, right? Just do that. And you get to your results.
Rule number 3, develop your gifts.
I was never, ever a gifted speaker. Don't you get it? I shaped myself, I trained, I worked hard, I molded myself into the speaker that I am today, into the entrepreneur that I am today. Do you understand? Most of young kids, you are waiting, you are thinking, oh, you know, what is my gift? It's not about finding your gifts. It's about developing your gifts. It's like working out. Well, I guess I'll wait to find out what body part is the strongest. It is the dumbest thing. You gotta work for it. You gotta train. You gotta develop those gifts. Gifts don't just fall on your lap and say, okay, great, you're gifted. Now, maybe you are more talented in certain areas, or you learn things faster than most with certain things. Maybe music, maybe mathematics, maybe problem solving, maybe creativity. But you still have to develop those damn gifts. And it takes years to develop any kind of gifts. The problem is you're waiting and waiting and waiting instead of getting to work. Pick something, anything. If it doesn't work, you can pivot. You try enough things, you will know, oh, an idiot would know that, hey, I'm naturally better at this. I learn faster than most doing this. It clicks for me. What comes easy for you may be difficult for others. That's when you know, okay, maybe this is an area I need to focus on. It will still take you years to be world-class at something, even though you're naturally talented in certain things. And there's no one that is gifted in everything. You have to pick and choose. In life, it's all about choices. You got to pick and choose what do you want to focus on. You could spend your whole life focusing on something, but does this thing or this skill set gives you what you want? Does this skill set, if mastered, could give you the life that you want, would give you the lifestyle that you want, will help you accomplish your dreams? And for most, the answer is no. The answer is no. So forget about finding that gift. Watching too many videos and not taking enough action. Watching videos are fine, but at the end of the day, you have to take action. You have to go to the gym. You have to pick up certain skill. You have to do something. You learn by doing, not just by watching. You do not learn just by watching. When you do something, you internalize it. It becomes yours.
Rule number 4, find your drive.
Did I tell you the story why I was obsessed with learning one-on-one closing? Did I tell you that story? Anybody know that story? No. Okay. Okay. So I was doing copywriting, right? So there was this particular prospect called me on the phone through my website, found my work, we booked a time. And at the time, I didn't know, so I call him, right? Not him calling me, not inbound, I call him. And he was asking me about my copywriting service, how much I charge. I was explaining, here's what I do and all this stuff. And then about a few minutes into the call, he was saying, stop, right? Stop. I said, what? Yeah, stop. He said, in the 5-minute conversation, you made multiple grammatical errors. And you speak with a very thick accent. I can't understand what the hell you're saying. You cannot be good at what you do. I think you're scamming me. And he hung up. That was the first time I felt hurt. Like even in high school, the bully, all that, that's physical. But this is like a spear. Because I was conscious. I know I speak with an accent. I know I'm an immigrant, right? I was nervous enough trying to make a living, provide for my mom. But that was like, that was an arrow through my heart. That's when I made a decision, right, to say, I'm going to learn this thing. And also why the part of the challenge, remember I was doing internet marketing, doing the workshop, why I want to master platform closing. Partially, maybe the Ruby in me, maybe it is to prove something. But back then, I have this fantasy, that this guy who hung up on me someday would see my name or come to one of my workshops and say, yeah, that is you. But I would thank him. Because he gave me that drive, right?
Also, if you want to have more self-love and confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The link to join are in the description below.
Remember this, your business is always a reflection of you. After you practice martial art, you develop this natural self-confidence. Not cockiness, but you develop this natural self-confidence. That's a problem with young people. You're not good at anything. Oh, I'm too good. No, tell me the truth. You're not good at anything.
Rule number 5, focus on the outcome.
Now in Wing Chun, we have a lot of trapping techniques, right? Trapping techniques, meaning if I throw a punch to Peter, so here I have an obstacle. So from here, I see the straight line, say, okay, I'm gonna hit Peter in the chin here, but boom, I have an obstacle. But what happens in life, we get so attached to this. then we're like, oh, we're fighting over this. Like, I want to fight over this. This obstacle, we always focus on the process, but we no longer focus on the outcome. The outcome is not the hand. The focus is here. These are the branches. We want to focus on the trees, right? So in Wing Chun, in Chinese, we talk about 追形不追手, means we chase the mane, the figure, not the hands. We only do trapping when there's an obstacle. So when there's an obstacle, we can trap and we can hit. Right? So we are not thinking about the hand. It's just, I try to hit, there's an obstacle, then I can trap and I can punch. Right? So focus on the outcome. We don't lose sight of the outcome.
Rule number 6, stay away from poor people.
One of the things I say again and again, and that is don't hang around with poor people. And some people take it the wrong way. Oh, Dan, are you saying you only judge people's character by how much money they have? That's not what I'm saying. Because people without money, that's just one form of poor. There are many, many forms of poor. Do you know people who walk around all day, they just look defeated, right? They are saying to you, why bother trying? They have lost hope. Maybe they've been burned before. They have failed before. They made mistakes before, but now they've all given up. They're saying to you all the time, oh, it can't be done. It's impossible. Hey, don't even try that. I tried that before. You see, just because they can't do something, now they're selling you. They're telling you why you cannot do it either. They are poor in spirit.
Rule number 7, be strategic.
Should you quit your job? I know what it's like when you're working at a job that you have zero interest in, you're not passionate about, and you're working with a group of people that you can't stand. It's all toxic in an environment, and you feel like you're not growing and you're not getting paid what you deserve. I remember when I was making minimum wage in a supermarket that I hated to go to work. Hated every single day. I'm like, oh my God, my alarm clock. Now I gotta go. I gotta, be stuck in at the time a bus, right? And then the train, SkyTrain, and then go to work and every day back and forth. And I couldn't stand it. So I know maybe you're thinking about, should you quit? Should you not quit and do your own thing and start your own business? Now, this is speaking from experience, and I hope this will help you. Now, some people, and this is what I did, and I don't recommend it, they just quit the job. One day I was working, I walked in, I say F you to the boss, and I just walked out. I do not recommend that, because afterwards, I got myself into a lot of trouble because I was desperate. That's not an ideal situation. Now, for some people, they excel when they are back in the corner and they are under a lot of pressure. That's a very, very small percentage of the population. Chances are, that's probably not you. For most people, it's the opposite. They crack under pressure. They melt under pressure. Right now, they're not making wise decisions. Now they're panicking because, oh my God, I'm gonna pay my bills next month. Not a very good idea. So my recommendation to most of my fans and students around the world is very, very simple. Follow this formula. You quit your job, 2 conditions. One is your side hustle, your side business, your little side income model, whatever it is that you do. It could be high income skill that I teach. When you are making twice as much from that compared to your job, you could quit. So let's say you're making $3,000 a month from your job, your high income skill, your side hustle now is providing you with $6,000 a month. That gives you some safety net, some comfort, and say, you know what, now I could quit comfortably, because you know if you can generate that kind of income compared to what you're earning right now from your job, twice as much part-time. What could you do if you do this full-time? If you focus 100% into that business, into that skill, right? Make sense? You would do a lot more. You know you could take that and you can double that to 10,000, 12,000 if you are fully going in and fully dedicated to that one thing.
Rule number 8, get a mentor.
Is it okay to have no mentor? Jesus Christ. You don't need to have anything. You don't need to have a mentor. You don't need anything. Question is it working in your life? Is it working for you? Where are you at? Are you successful? Are you happy? If that's the case, keep doing what you're doing. You don't need anything. Do it yourself. A mentor's job is to help you become who you say you want to become, making you do things that you don't want to do. So you could become who you say you want to be. Someone who holds you accountable. Most of you guys watching this got no accountability ever from anybody. That's the problem. You don't need to get a mentor. I am saying is, I am where I am today because of my mentors. Because I learned from somebody. It's just like you don't need to drive, you can walk. It just takes a lot longer. Could you walk? Of course you could walk. It's your choice. Most people, they ask these stupid questions because they want to be right. They want to say, oh yeah, my point is, what about this? Well, what if I don't want to wear a suit? What if I want to do it on my own? What if you don't need, you can do whatever. You can jump off a building. Who cares? You can do whatever the hell you want. Get a mentor if you want to be successful. Find someone who's been there and done that are willing to mentor you, which most people probably are not willing to mentor you because it's a waste of time. Who are willing to mentor you. Then you learn from that person and be humble. Stop this bullshit of, what about my point of view? Full opinions. Is it working? Do you have results? Or are you still living in the basement with your mom? That's the problem.
Rule number 9, love yourself.
Most of us, I believe, don't love ourselves enough. Now, I don't mean arrogance, self-arrogance. I'm talking about self-love. Because growing up, we don't get enough love from other people. For most of us, there's a guy that I used to know who had experienced multiple breakups, and to a point where now he doesn't trust relationships anymore. He doesn't trust women anymore because he doesn't want to get hurt. And I believe hurt people hurt people. And you could see on his face when I look at him, he doesn't smile. There's no joy. There's no life, right? Think about it. If you have given a choice, if you could have $1 million for the rest of your life, you have $1 million, but in exchange, you could no longer have intimacy. You can no longer have relationship with anybody else. You can no longer love. In exchange of $1 million, would you take it? Comment below. You wouldn't, because life without love means very, very little. And how could you give love? You cannot give something that you don't have. So how could you give love if you don't have love yourself? How can you love others if you don't love yourself?
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is embrace overwhelm.
If you're overwhelmed, if you're confused, if you're stressed, take a deep breath. I know in the moment, it may feel like you have too much on your plate. It may feel like you want to scream, and it may feel like there's no way out. But here's what I want you to do. Take another deep breath and celebrate. Because what you are experiencing is human. What you're experiencing means you're alive. What you are experiencing means you are growing. The ones who don't experience overwhelm are not growing. The ones who don't experience confusion are not learning. The ones who don't get stressed are not pushing. So don't shrink away from overwhelm, embrace it. Don't be scared of confusion, welcome it. Don't collapse under stress, thrive from it. You see, life is not about having all the answers all the time. Life is about being okay with not knowing the answer while doing everything in your power to find out what the answer is. And remember, you don't have to solve it all at once. Overwhelm happens when you think you have to figure out everything at once, but you don't. All you need to do is to take it one step at a time. Even if it's just one step at a time. Taking that step forward will give you the power to keep going. Because when you sit still, fear is created. But when you move, clarity emerges. Step by step, mile by mile, inch by inch, that's how you get to where you want to go. That's how you get to the life that you deserve.
Now I've got a special bonus clip from Dan on how to focus on structure over strength that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing question. It's time to go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. How can you better embrace overwhelm? Number 2, what can you do this week to love yourself more? And number 3, how are you going to apply the straight line theory? And if you made it this far in the video, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe in the comments as well.
Third things I've learned from Wing Chun, and that is structure over strength. Now in business, sometimes you're competing with a company that is much bigger, that's got more resources, that's got more capital, they have more people, right? They have a better brand. Well, as a smaller company, how do you beat a bigger guy, right? You can't do that with strength. Let me look at those guns. I mean, they're pretty big, right? So if you're facing a guy with like 150 pounds, 200 pounds, 150 pounds, and depends on your size, if you're strength versus strength, you're gonna lose. So Wing Chun is designed for the little guys to beat the bigger guys, and you don't do that with strength, you do that with structure. So let me give you a perfect example. If I was to like push with Peter, right? I'm like using my muscle and like pushing him. He's pushing me, like right. You can see that again, right? Because I have no structure. My structure is off, right? However, if I have the proper, let's say, Wing Chun structure, right? And then instead of fighting force with force, my structure, my shoulders relax, right? And then as he's slowly giving me pressure, right? Now this relax more, a little bit more. Yeah, continue. See, now because my structure gives me strength, all his force is now transferred to the ground, like this, right? A little bit more, lean a little bit more, right? So it's not strength, right? It's not strength, right? It's just this. You see, this is relaxed. I'm not doing this. See, I'm not doing this, right? See that? See that? So structure, but if my structure is wrong, let's say my structure push, see that? My structure is wrong. So structure over strength.
Hi, this is Dan Lok. If you're a fan of Evan's work, if you want to know exactly how to model my success, I want to invite you to join me for a special online training. All you have to do is click on the link below. You can join me for absolutely no charge. So click on the link below and I will see you in class.
If you want more Dan Lok, check out this top 10 rules video right next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
You know what, that 5 years, yes, I was working my face off. My friends, partying, drinking, chasing girls, all this bullshit.